side. Everybody's here for recognition,
Yeah, it was
right?
9 trips to space station.
Yes.
The last one I got.
Your principal's back there.
I don't know.
This copy is back there.
But anyway, it's over.
Here. That's his copy.
The privileges I get.
We'll do recognition and so everything.
There, you know. Evening, Sergeant. How you doing?
No, I'm the sergeant. You're looking the wrong direction. Hear your voice, but this
Yeah.
I hope not. Oh, good.
I like to hear better. Hear better.
Yeah, I
These
know.
curtains absorb the echoes.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, oh, it's clear. I can understand what people are saying.
Yeah. It's that.
We have a speaker,
Like when we're in the studio.
Dr. Levantino. We have a speaker that's facing you guys.
Oh.
So that's why you guys can
That
hear.
doesn't
But
help.
the
That
curtains,
doesn't hurt either.
yeah, the
That
curtains
makes a
are really,
difference,
really good.
But actually, the absorption of the.
The big thing is this, when people in the other one, it's echo, echo, echo. I
Oh, I
can't
know.
understand a word.
I know, it's bad.
Because when you're recording studio, it's all that.
It gets
Mark.
all soaked up. Yeah.
The damn.
I'm gonna keep this because nobody uses it until afterwards.
Sounds much better.
You know what I did in order to use
Okay.
the audiobooks? I took a tape crate,
Yeah.
honestly, and I put it in a box. And I put a microphone in the middle of that box. That's how it
Works.
and it worked.
Every time I drive by the fire department, I wonder if you're in there working, but.
I had to yell at it for you. Well, it says you can call if I don't.
Hey, go for it. I find that.
Well, we just.
We're dead. No.
meeting at this time, Toltec School District number 22. And we'll be opening everything by standing up, and we'll be doing the Pledge of Allegiance. Dr. Levitini, you've been gone for a minute, so could you read it?
You got it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to the Treasure Hunter Pledge.
As an adult and treasure hunter, I am committed to search for all the talents, skills, and intelligence that exists in all children and youth. I believe all children are capable of success, no exceptions.
Moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. I'll be seated at this time. Dr. Poppy, could you do the roll call, please?
Yes.
Mark Lingram,
Here.
Steve Courtwright,
Here.
Anthony Levantino,
Here.
Ernie Lopez,
Here.
and David Richter is.
Moving on to the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion for the approval of the agenda?
So moved.
I have a motion made by Dr. Levantino. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Captain Lopez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion passes. Moving on to the approval of the action item, consent items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
All right, again, I have a motion made by Dr. Levantino. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Captain Lopez. All in favor say aye. Aye. All against? Motion passes. Moving on to 3, recognitions. Come on.
All right, so first for Toltec, we're gonna start out with Mr. Despalo. Come on. He's like, why am I here today? All right, so Mr. Despalo is truly a blessing to our team. He's an absolute delight to have on campus and is a strong, talented math teacher who pours his heart and knowledge into our junior high students every day. He teaches math at a high level and engage. Come on, buddy. This way? Back here? Okay. Come back this way with me, okay? Okay, so Humberto is a shining example of a model student. If there is such a thing called, which there is, a jack of all trades, Humberto is it. He supports his teacher in every way in the classroom, needing assistance. When he needs help, he is not afraid to ask. He also assists students, he cleans up. He helps the teacher, he models positive behavior, and so much more. His smile lights up the room and makes everyone's day a lot brighter. Thank you, Humberto. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Will you shake everybody's hand, please?
It doesn't like me. I can use my teacher voice, I can do that.
Just a little bit.
Okay, our junior high Tiger of the Month is Aslan Cipriano. Okay, come here, Aslan. Okay, so Aslan has earned this recognition through her outstanding leadership, determination, compassion, and resilience. She constantly sets a positive example for her peers approaches challenges with a strong work ethic, and treats others with kindness and respect. Her ability to preserve and uplift those around her truly makes her an amazing student and a person all around. Thank you so much, Aslan, for setting the standards within the junior high. We appreciate it. It's all you, sister.
Bulldog of the Month, Nathan, come on up. Nathan comes to school every day with a positive attitude. He consistently demonstrates diligence and genuine leadership, showing that he is highly responsible in everything he does, especially in his learning. He is always ready and eager to learn. Nathan always has a big heart and willing to help others whenever they need support, whether academically or socially. He is an effective communicator who expresses his thoughts and feelings in a positive and constructive way, especially when resolving conflicts. When he makes mistakes, he humbly takes responsibility and takes action to correct them. Nathan is dependable, self-motivated, and always strives to do his best. His respectful behavior, strong work ethic, and willingness to support his peers make him a true role model. Thank you.
Awesome. Will you shake everybody's hand?
Our next Bulldog is Sophia. Is Sophia here tonight? Yeah, she is. Come on up here, Sophia. Sophia always is one of the first ones to volunteer to help others with their work and assignments. She is the first one to raise her hand to participate in class. She demonstrates all of the Kid at Hope attributes by nature and is kind and considerate to all others.
Awesome. Will you shake everyone's hand?
Hey, do we have Miss Kaylee here tonight? Right here, sweetheart. Come on. Kaylee is a very kind and compassionate individual. She genuinely enjoys helping others and consistently stays focused on her tasks. She is an outstanding friend to everyone. Keep up the excellent work, Kaylee. Okay, now we have our Kid at Hope Award. Naomi, come on up. Miss Naomi, she is an outstanding young woman who consistently demonstrates exceptional character and integrity. Throughout her time in her class, she has proven to be polite, respectful, and genuinely helpful to both her peers and students, and teachers, I'm sorry. She approaches every task with a positive attitude and a willingness to assist others. Her kindness and cooperative nature create an inclusive and supportive environment, making her a true role model for her classmates. She is dependable, courteous, and always eager to contribute in many meaningful ways.
You shake everybody's hand. Thank you.
And unfortunately, my two staff members were unable to make it tonight. One of them is working. So I'm just going to mention their name. For our classified treasure hunter of the month, we have chosen Socorro Orozco. And for our teacher, we have chosen Veronica Davis, and unfortunately, she couldn't make it either.
Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to give this award to one of our amazing staff under Special Education Department, Miss Belinda Shea. Please come on stage, please. So Miss Belinda is our
Speech
language pathologist. So she joined in this district since July. So she's been for how many years? 30 years and 31 years as a speech language pathologist in Marana. And we're so happy and so very glad that she chose Toltec School District, to work as a speech language pathologist. And she worked really, really amazing to support our kids in providing services for speech, at the same time providing assistance for our speech language pathologist assistant. Thank you so much, Miss Belinda, for doing an amazing job. And that award is beyond, your work, beyond your capacity. You did a lot of amazing things for our kids. Thank you so much.
So our treasure hunter of the month for the district is Amanda Keisto. Amanda is currently serving in the role of Dean of Students here at Toltec. And prior to that, she taught social studies in the junior high. And she, you've just been great.
I don't know why that's.
Really?
Yes, that's what I love.
And I know Nicole is just so appreciative of everything you do.
Thank you.
I don't know what's happening.
It's the winter.
Yes.
It's a long day. I get it.
It's been a long day. Yes. Thank you. Shake everybody's hand.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You did great.
Thank you. Where's Nikki? I think it's Nikki's husband out there. I didn't know that.
Well, after all these tears,
Yes. They're happy tears, I promise.
we're now going to have what they call a pause and place. And the reason we have this pause in place is for you, and if you have children and you need to get them home, obviously you can leave now, or you can stay here and watch the rest of us, the rest of the board meeting. But at this time, if you wish to leave, you can do so. And thank you, congratulations, all who were recognized, and thank you for being part of the school district. I appreciate everyone being here. Have a good evening. No, we can do it. Go ahead and make the introduction.
So I would like to introduce our new maintenance director. And so Mario Cambronero, can you stand up? You want to come up here? This is starting, what, your second week?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and so Mario has a lot of experience in custodial work, in maintenance, general maintenance. He's also certified in HVAC, and he has multiple other certifications, so he's a great addition. He also has his OSHA 30 certification, so we're very happy that he is joining us. So, thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Nice to have you here, Maria.
Again, Mario, thank you for joining us. I do appreciate you being here. All right, moving on. We're going to go to the information discussion items. A superintendent summary.
So both schools last week had their holiday programs, and they were both well attended. So they had almost over 400 people here. It was standing room only here, and I got to see the tail end of this one, but also went over to ACES and saw what they were doing as well. So they were well attended. I attended an ACES parent-teacher organization meeting. So they're getting started and trying to make that, you know, a successful opportunity for everybody. On November 15th, the Democratic Club of Robeson Ranch hosted a bake sale, and some of those proceeds will be coming to Toltec School District. So they stopped by today, and they'll give us the, by next board meeting, is that they should be on the agenda for that. I visited both campuses on November 11th before the holiday break, and both schools had fun activities for the kids to participate in. The The Strategic Planning Committee met on November 18th, and then they'll meet again tomorrow. And I've met with both student councils and have gotten their input on what they like about their schools, what they would like to see changed, and what they would like in the future. The linear canal project near ACES.
Next to my house.
Yes. They are in the final phases of digging, so they have 3 more weeks of that. Now it's probably 2. And so just got a quick update there. And so that's basically my update.
That's your spiel?
Yes, that's my spiel.
All right, well, that's good. Next up, information discussion items. B, finance report.
So for November 2025 budget report, this report summarizes expenditures from July 1st to November 30, 2025, with total spending for November totaling 972,882.08. The Maintenance and Operations Fund, 001, continues to demonstrate effective budget management with encumbrances closely tracked in key areas such as purchase, professional services, supplies, and other related expenses. The negative budgeted salary amount is still pending adjustment as salaries carried over by the previous accounting coordinator under specific codes. The unrestricted capital outlay fund 610 remains financially healthy with 50.52% of its budget still available, 434,592.79. The reduction in October and November reflect the planned purchase of 405 learner tablets, which have increased by $40 per unit compared to last year due to inflation. And despite the year-end adjustment, both funds are being carefully monitored, ensuring responsible use and maintaining flexibility for upcoming needs and unforeseen expenses.
Any questions? Thank you, Lauren. Now moving on to the Arizona School Facilities Division application report.
So we're just about there. I've been working closely with our technology department and also the company that's going to be purchasing the phones and also the cable company that's going to help us with the PA system and all the cables and all that good stuff. I'm not a technology person, but anyway, all that good stuff.
All that good stuff.
All that good stuff. So we're just about there. We had to make sure that each school had their own quote included. So, but anyway, we had to separate all of that, and that's what we've been doing. That's what
Yeah,
we're
we've
doing.
had to do that before. So, yeah, I get that.
It's just for the schools.
Yeah, it's just the schools for the kids. Yeah, I get it. Not
But
the district.
hopefully, sometime this week, we should be able to receive the last bit of the quote, the corrections, updates, and we'll be able to send that in.
All right, are they using fiber to run this stuff?
Yes, I think so.
They're using fiber. Well, you gotta
Sounds
be
good to
up,
me.
you gotta be up to date with fiber. And I think more
And we are.
packets of information going through fiber, and so if they're not using that, I'll be very disappointed.
It's bells and whistles.
Okay, all of it? Okay, all right, sounds good. Thank you, Narda, I appreciate it. Okay, moving on to accountability at a glance. I know we have,
So Sophia's calling in to do this part of it, and she has the slideshow, which is this right here. So just,
yeah, I got it.
and,
Go ahead, Ms. Pierce.
Good evening, team. Can you move towards the PowerPoint so that I can view the PowerPoint? can see here that our strength is strong academic growth, and that comes from different elements, performance driver. It's confirming that students are making meaningful year-to-year progress. One of the key improvement focuses is to increase proficiency, performance, and strengthening their English learner outcomes to advance toward a B rating. Currently, Arizona City Elementary has a C letter grade, and the goal is for a B rating. This is to indicate how that rating was received. Are there any questions about the percentage of possible points earned or the indicator distribution?
No, go ahead.
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to move on to Toltec, and as you can see, I'll put the pie charts closely together for comparison. But moving on to Toltec Elementary, again, Toltec does have the same indicators as ACES. They're aligned very closely. Again, their strength is in academic growth, which is, again, where students are making meaningful year-to-year progress. And again, those improvements that we need to focus on for Toltec, just like ACES, is increasing and strengthening the English learner outcomes. And again, this is the pie chart indicating the percent of possible points earned in these areas, and then the indicator distribution are the points that are actually earned within those points of distribution. And again, we'll look at both TS and ACES, but I wanted to show you each separate school. And Toltec also has the letter grade C. Any questions about any of the distribution of the indicators?
What exactly do these things mean? What is growth? What is proficiency? What is acceleration readiness?
Did you hear him?
So I think I heard, what does acceleration readiness mean?
What's all of it?
Or growth, or proficiency, all of them. What do they all mean?
So for each, so when we're looking at, if we're looking at the pie chart itself, in this blue area here is any type of growth academically, whether it was done through benchmarks, through state testing, through grade reporting, whatever growth academically was pulled from ADE to determine how, within that distribution of how we did academically, 67% was looked at, and they used 40% of actual points that we earned to help in giving us that letter grade. So they look at academic growth, and like I said, those are different indicators based on movement that's been made, whether it's through state testing, benchmarking, or school benchmarking, Acadians, Galileo, student grades, whatever academic growth is taking place within the school setting. The K-8 proficiency is also looking at different elements of growth when it comes to proficiency, whether it is in a particular content area. And so what they do is they take 10% of that, and we actually did really well in that particular area because we did actually earn, Toltec did the 10%, which was in that K-8 proficiency. As far as the K-8 acceleration readiness, that's part of our Acadians and Move On When Ready program. So they do take those elements as well to see how well our students do within that particular distribution. And as you can see here, out of that 17% on how it was distributed, we actually earned 10% of those points that was used, again, to reflect the letter C grade. And the K-8 proficiency and Yale proficiency and growth, although it indicates here that it is 5% they use, we managed 3% of total points that we actually earned. And this is a particular area per se, although that it is a smaller indication here on the pie chart. For lack of a better term, it is used heavily to weigh our performance. So this is part of some of where we could earn a much higher letter grade
tell her, because I want to say something about that? Tell Sophia to hold up for just a second with that.
Okay. Okay.
So with the EL proficiency, well, we had students that moved to proficiency, but they weren't counted in these percentages. So if the students are not here a full academic year, then they don't get counted. So they could start school the second day, and if they're not here the full time, then we don't get to count them. And so Sophia has been, I asked her to attend one of the accountability meetings, the state accountability meetings, and let them know that, hey, this isn't, it's not representing all of our kids appropriately. And so other districts have had the same concerns. So they'll change the cut scores every year. So that's one of those things, since the state is in the process of looking at a new vendor for state stuff. This isn't specifically for that, but realizing that we did better than what we're being represented here, but we just couldn't count them.
Because of the EL?
Yeah, because if the kids were not here the full year,
Right.
so say they moved, or they moved in and they weren't here the full year, but they made it to proficient, they're not counted on here. They're just counted for.
They have to be here from day one.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Pia.
Okay, I was just going to piggyback off what Dr. Potvin had mentioned. Currently I'm working with the ADE to make sure to be an advocate to see what we can do moving forward. There are several schools like ourselves that do have a high population of EL
have a fiscal year 25 letter grade performance
And
overview.
there, oh, okay,
It should be the last one.
okay.
For the compare this one and this one.
Did I cheat out? So my apologies. Would you like me to go over the two again, or were you able to hear me?
Yeah, yes, heard almost everything.
Okay. Okay, great. So just to summarize everything, you know, both Toltec Elementary and Arizona City, even though their overall grade was a C, both schools have done really well over time because they are showing tremendous growth. It's just taking time because of other, you know, different elements work together to have more positive growth trends as we move forward and developing our instructional practice and student progress. So hopefully, you know, we'll continue building on these areas. And as myself and other staff working closely with ADE to make sure that we're represented equitably across the board. So are there any questions for me regarding the letter grade performance? Okay. So I'm just going to move on to the next pieces of information to share. So I'm done with the PowerPoint. Thank you, Dr. Morgan. I'll just speak out to the board at this time. So currently, as Dr. Poppin had mentioned, I'm currently sitting on the Arizona State Board Accountability Committee to make sure that you know, we're participating with the State Board Accountability Committee so that we make sure that we're represented equitably. And a lot of our discussions have been working with the EL proficiency and growth together with the state, and so that make sure that we're represented as a school district. For professional learning communities, both schools, ACES and TES, continue to participate in the instructional walkthroughs with PLC consultant Cindy Robinson. We continuously do walkthroughs, myself and both principals at ACES and TES. And currently the cohort is in phase 2 of their PLC implementation. Assessment update, we just, in partnership with AD and Pearson, we completed the NAVI benchmark. We are in the process right now of looking forward in February to have NAVI as a statewide, as a district-wide test that we'll be implementing. And I'll give the board more information as we get closer to those days. In addition, because the schools participated in the NAVI benchmark in November, we're going to be looking at some of the data, myself and those grade levels that participated in the NAVI, to see if it's a possible benchmark that we may be using in the future as well. Our Math Curriculum Adoption Committee is underway. We are currently reviewing and narrowing down those potential math programs for consideration. We're going to select final candidates, within the next meetings once we prepare and have prepared a formal presentation to discuss for future math recommendations. And my apologies if I'm a little shaky. I'm trying to get all the information out quickly. Are there any questions regarding any of the information that was provided?
Well, it seems that you've done another fine job. Thank you, Sophia.
Well, thank you. I wish I was there. I miss everyone. But thank you. And any questions, team, I'm happy to follow up. Like I said earlier, the information and the data could be a little cumbersome, but I'm happy to go through, and if there's any further information that's needed, I'm happy to share next board meeting.
Well, I'm a little less foggy as I was before, but so far so good.
Okay. We're making growth. That's a good part. Thank
this time, we do have that paper that we're going to sign at the end about the conflict of interest. We won't be doing that right now. At the end, we'll go ahead and sign that paper. Not at this time. We're just going to move on to the rest of the stuff real quick, and then we can sign it at the end. I just don't want anybody to leave before we get done with the conflict of interest paperwork. I do have to state here a little bit of the stuff. Voting restrictions, Arizona revised statute 43-1001 definition is dependent has the same meaning prescribed in section 152 of the Internal Revenue Code. And Arizona revised statute 15323, it shall be unlawful for a member to vote on a specific item which concerns the appointment, employment, or remuneration of a member or any related to such member who is a spouse or dependent as defined in section 43-1001. Another one is employment limitation, no dependent as defined in section 43-1001 of the governing board. Member may be employed at the district except by consent of the board. And the last one is Arizona revised statute 15502, no dependent as defined in section 43-1001 of the governing board. Member may be employed in the school district in which a person to whom such dependent is related in the governing board. Member except by consent of the board. And the last little thing I actually want to throw in here, because of the fact that our schools are smaller, they do have the purchasing governing board members for districts with fewer than 3,000 students. Procurement rules are required for all purchases of service from the governing board members, regardless of the dollar amount. Purchases for services may not be made after the public competitive bidding. Purchases of supplies, materials, and equipment from the board members are subject to the following. Purchases less than $100,000 comply to the Uniform School District procurement rules and public competitive bidding, and each purchase is approved by the school board, and the amount of the purchase is included in the board's meeting minutes. I just wanted to say that there are times that people have very small areas and they have less than 3,000 students. Sometimes you don't have a choice because the school board members are actually businessmen. So that's the end of that. And we have the paperwork, and we'll finish that off again at the end after we have the rest of the meeting. Now we're moving on to a call to the public. Do you have a call to the public?
No, sir.
We have no call to the public. Okay. Next one, action items. And we have action item fiscal year 2025 annual financial report revision. And the coding corrections were necessary due to the errors by the previous director of finance. And
So, as mentioned, the coding corrections were necessary due to...
no, your microphone isn't working.
Okay, so as mentioned by Sir Mark, coding corrections were necessary due to errors by the previous Director of Finance. And this fiscal year 2025 annual financial report revision, as shared at the special board meeting in October, they had, as I've said, numerous coding errors that needed to be corrected, and in order to meet the statutory deadline of October 15, we approved the AFR with the understanding that the revision would be necessary and that the adjustments have been finalized, and the total number of account code corrections that were made is 289, and 280 were related to payroll and the remaining were accounts payable. The capital, classroom site fund, and there are also 5 federal grants that has been affected.
Was that moved to M&O?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Everybody catch that?
Say it again.
Everything was moved from back to M&O.
Got it.
I think that's what we really need to know. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Do we have a motion for the revised annual fiscal report as attached?
So moved.
I have a motion motion by Mr. Portright. Do I have a second? I have a second by
Captain Lopez.
Captain Lopez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion passes. Moving on to our next. Superintendent evaluation. Yeah, go ahead.
So we had my setting up of the goals, but we never posted them, and so this is our discussion of what I would be working on for my evaluation, and then also talking about the tool, and so that's what was in the attachment. So then at a later time in the year, we will, I'll fill it out, or we'll meet to fill that out, and so have the opportunity to meet some of these goals.
Right, absolutely. We don't have, we can't evaluate if you haven't had a chance to do it. So, you just got here. So, this will be done, the actual evaluation itself will be done at the end of the school year, and where we can more clearly evaluate what has been done and the goals that have been met. And this is just a summative performance report in order to figure out. And I'm not sure if everyone had a chance to look at it, but if you do need time, please tell me now if you need a little bit of time to look at it again.
Are we happy with shooting for a 5% increase in ELA math scores?
Are you asking me that? Or are you asking everybody?
Say again. I'm asking the board.
Okay.
Yeah. And you.
And you. I mean, I don't want to go beyond what can be done, but I don't want to leave out where we can't go.
Right.
You know, if we can make it most of the way, yay, but let's have something to shoot for. And we're kind of looking, I'm sure that's where Dr. Levatino's going with it. Let's look at something and let's shoot for it, and let's try to make it. Whether we do or we don't, at least we aim in that direction, and hopefully we can hit it. And if we do, I'll be a very, very happy man. Go ahead. Do you have something to say? Please.
So it's one of those things of where, obviously I would like it a lot higher than what it is. But at the same time, I want it to be somewhat realistic with what we've seen over time. And so, to move the dial, to have something statistically significant, you need to have at least 5% of it. So that's, I want it to mean something, and I don't want to say 1%, and then, I don't know. I'm with you on what you said.
We're just,
We're gonna
listen,
shoot
we
for
shoot for that, and like I said, it's not out of the question. It's just, it's something to look forward to. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at, that's what I'm looking for, and I'm hoping that we can follow through with that and get to, or at least come close. That's all I'm saying. Any other questions? see if we have we get a motion for the approval of the Strong and Associates Superintendent Summative Performance Report.
So moved.
All right. I have a motion made by Captain Lopez. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
You second by Mr. Courtwright. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion passes. And then the next thing that we're moving on to is actually the school board self-evaluation. Always gotta love that. And we have that paper sitting right here that is your self-evaluation. Where did I put it? I hid it from myself. I know what it looks like. And we just want everybody to take a look at that and see if you would approve of that for being a board self-evaluation tool. Oh, he looked at it when we first came in. I handed it out to everybody. So they could take a look at it before, when we got to this point, we would know what we were doing. I already looked at it. Any questions about this evaluation? Is it good enough? Does it look like it's something we can work with?
Yeah, I think we can work with it.
All right. Captain?
Yeah.
You good? Steve?
Yeah.
All right. All right, let's go ahead. Let's have a motion on the governing board self-evaluation tool.
What are we moving specifically?
For the actual valuation.
Adoption of the evaluation.
Evaluation itself.
So moved.
All right. So Dr. Levantino has made a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
The second by Captain Lopez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion passes. Next is, next I have to, we have to come together about, what exactly are we looking at? Oh, the 2026 budget. Yes, right. It has to be posted for 10 days. It's not 10 days at this time, but on the 15th, and we have to have it done by the 15th, probably no later than that, because it has to be posted for 10 days. Do we wish, on the 15th, do you wish to meet for the budget? Because all we're going to do is we're going to open it up, and we're just going to say vote on the budget, and then, or can, December 15th. December.
Send it, yeah.
No, it is. But anyway, the 26th, we have to have it done before the 26th, so we have to have it done by the 15th. So, what I'm proposing that if, we may not actually have to be at the district office, because we would have it at the district office, we would come out here just to vote for something like that, or we can do it by vote.
On the 15th?
Yes.
Okay, phone.
Oh, yeah, because I think people might be busy. I'm thinking you might be busy.
Well, I'm going to be out of town between 12 and 14, but I will be here the 15th.
Oh, okay, yeah, but still, you're just coming back. Okay, yeah, let's.
No big deal.
Okay, so we'll just do phone. Like I said, it's just an opening, say what we need to say, and get the budget done, and then we'll pull it up. So we'll be having the meeting on the 15th by phone. All right, now, next meeting date.
The second one is, I think, January 12th.
January 12th, does everybody have how's it looking for everybody?
Yes, and I'll be out of town, but I can.
Yeah.
I can do it by phone.
But by phone,
Shouldn't be a problem.
yes, thank you. That would be good, that would be fine. Everybody else, January 12th? All right, looks like we're going January 12th. next up in the closing of the meeting will be the adjournment. Do I have a motion for the adjournment? I have a motion by Captain Lopez. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Dr. Leventino. All in favor? We are now adjourned. I try to remind you. I always agree. And now we have the conflict of interest paperwork. There's not much to it. I've got him. I don't want to dig around.
So the meeting on the fifteenth, I had got drawn up for jury duty, and so I don't know whether I'll be around or not, but I can do it by phone.
Everybody will be on.
I'll let you know.
Just let me know. Let us know. Let us know. And then we'll all, but it's going to be by phone anyway.
Yeah.
All got done up?
Oh, we actually have to